Hello and welcome to another episode of SoulFull Sunday. I'm Cheryl-lya of Wellbeing Showcase, and as you know, with the pandemic, we've not been able to have our usual exhibits and events going on. So I thought it would be lovely to bring our exhibitors to you. And today I've got the wonderful Selina Boshorin of Caterpillar to Butterfly. And Selina is going to talk to us all about productivity and how to get the best out of yourself today. So Selina, hello, and thank you for being with us today.
Hello, and thank you for having me. It's a great honor.
It's an absolute pleasure. So I just thought, Selina, maybe start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and what Caterpillar to Butterfly is.
Yeah, so I'm a business system strategist and efficiency coach. So I work with business owners who are overwhelmed, they're overgiving, and it's all about helping them to really streamline their business so that they can work in a way where they operate in their genius and identify the other things that are maybe getting in the way, and stopping that level of growth.
That's fantastic. And how did you get inspired to do all of this? Because it's quite a big thing, taking somebody on such a big journey.
Yeah, and it's been a massive journey myself to reach this stage. When I first started, I have a really varied background within kind of education, training, youth work, events, all of that kind of stuff. And when I first started, as I said, I'd had a lot of skills from being a careers advisor, and I was really good at helping people either to use their skills in different ways or to streamline what they were doing. So really, if they had an idea for a business, I was really supporting them with that. As it evolved, as I said, I've always had a real interest in leadership behavior and looking at what it takes for a business, but also people to be successful. So from my own journey as well, knowing how it felt when I felt burnt out, to also observing other businesses and working alongside, various mentors and leading people, that led me to kind of, create, I suppose, the hybrid of different models that I work with at the moment. And, kind of part of the other thing was when I first started, I was purely focused on business strategy. So purely the ideas, purely the structure. And then I started to involve more of the leadership, more of the mindset, and more of, analyzing how are people working. And I suppose that's where it's evolved kind of today, as I said, I'm, looking at the energy behind how people are working. What are people focusing on? That all tasks are not kind of born equal. And as I said, my real passion is working with leaders. And when we are frazzled, burnt out, tired, rushing around, we're not as effective as we could be. And that's kind of where my passion is making sure that we are, because then we can create that big change in the world.
Absolutely. So it's really taking a stressed, overwhelmed person with great leadership potential and saying, this is how you step into that leadership in a productive, healthy, happy way.
That's it, exactly. As I said, people that already have that desire, but they found themselves in this situation. So it's not necessarily about coaxing people or forcing or whatever, but it's, how do you get the best you and go to that next level? Most of us, we start our businesses looking for freedom as well. That's the other thing. So it's also people that are now in a position that's counter the reason that they started, or they're thinking, okay, I want to grow my business, but actually I can't see it possible to grow my business unless I clone myself, unless I double myself, or unless they create 20 more hours in a day. So it's finding ways that, okay, you can't clone yourself and we can't make more hours, we've only got what we've got, how can we use this resource best?
Absolutely. And it's so important because people don't realize that their health and well-being is a reflection of their business health and well-being, and vice versa. So it's about getting into that state of being happy, being at one and understanding, you know, that you can't be all things to all people. As you say, you can't claim yourself as much as we would like. You know, and business well-being is just as important as personal well-being.
That's it, exactly.
So, you know, with somebody who's coming to you and they understand, yeah, this is where I am, this is kind of, you know, I'm not quite getting it right. What are the types of things that they can expect and the transformations they can make for themselves?
So there are a couple of different levels of transformation. So first of all is how they feel in terms of their energy, their, you know, feeling, you know, that they feel kind of more motivated. They also will be able to look at, okay, this is a priority for me, this is not. This idea is something I want to run with, and these are the steps that I need to put in place in order to do it. Or also, you know, if they're thinking, right, I want to grow my business, and they'd be able to say, okay, right, I need a member of staff, so I need to outsource this. I need to stop doing this. I need to do this more. This works really well. Those would be some of the things. And then as a byproduct, you know, financially, there's going to be changes. They have more free time, but they're still accomplishing what they need to. And as I said, they're going to find that they're probably bolder. I've had a lot of clients say that, you know, one particular said that she felt like she was been doing a business for a long time, but felt like it almost been a bit of a hobby, even though she's been doing it for ages. And it's like she started because she's valuing her time more. She's focusing and honing in on those gifts. She's knowing a little bit more about how she works best. So her income is changed. The way that she looks at her business has changed. The way that she's visible and shows up in the world has changed. You know, relationships will change as well. And I'm not, you know, anything to do with relationships, but the way that we look at ourselves affect how we interact with other people. So, you know, it's what seems like different areas, but they have a massive impact across different areas of our lives.
Fantastic. And that's hugely important, and especially today or today's world, I should say, where we are sort of living a new normal and people are working from home as well. That's, you know, the translation is, you know, do I work more hours? How do I get that balance in place? Is there? So, you know, what would you say to somebody working from home at the moment on?
Yeah, because that's a really big one. I think I've seen people that are both employed and self-employed have found that actually working from home, a lot of people are working much longer hours because you don't have travel, you're just answering the phone. I mean, as business owners, we know that anyway. But particularly at this time, it's, you know, work is getting longer. I suppose one way that I always say to people, again, and this is where we start looking at your schedule, what you're doing on a day-to-day, we start in building in more habit, more breaks, more time, you know, for you, whether it's creating an obligation-free day where you map out in your diary and schedule, this is the day where I don't do anything, or we start looking at themes across the week as well, because I find sometimes it's better with our energy to focus on particular things, different days, different times. You know, I know a lot of organizations, and I do this as well with different people, non-Zoom days. You know, don't have a Zoom day. Every day cannot be a Zoom day. You know, have a day for your admin, a day where you're doing particular different types of tasks. So it's about putting those different structures in place. Obviously, I'm aware of different personalities, and it's got to work for your personality, but then it could be time blocking. It could be putting those methods in place and making time for fun, making time just to read a book, just to watch Netflix, just to get up from the computer, just to, even if you're not going out, but just to walk around your flat, your house, your 4 squares. And recently I went on a really, really good kind of, it was like a exercise from your chair session, you know, so even just getting that bit of movement in there can really help us. And it's, you know, setting those up as part of our routine as well.
Absolutely. And it's those downtimes, it's those times of, even as you say, sitting in a chair, exercising, or scheduling blocks of time, to do other things that really create a sense of improved well-being in ourselves, which then translates across to good business well-being and good business practices as well.
That's it, yeah.
Oh, that is absolutely fantastic. Selina, there's so much. We've gone on quite a big little journey. Your client's journey has been absolutely fantastic. If somebody wants to get in touch with you, how would they contact you?
So you can definitely find me on Facebook. I have my obviously personal page is there. The business page is there as well, and that's Butterfly Transform. So Caterpillar to Butterfly is the business name, and then Butterfly Transform is the Facebook page. I also have a Facebook group, which is called Business Systems and Strategy, and it literally is just that. So groups/business systems and strategy. So there you'll find me in there, and LinkedIn as well at Selina Boshorin, or at S Boshorin. You'll find me.
Fantastic. And if there's one sort of pearl of wisdom or one sort of golden nuggets that you would like anybody watching right now to take away from our conversation, what would that be?
Oh, that is a very good question. I like it. Okay, so what would my pearl be? I suppose it is just one of the things that we were saying, and it is about it's okay to have a break. It's okay to not be at it 24/7, and really to understand your style and the way you work. That said, I'm not saying, things come to us by osmosis, but we don't have to run ourselves ragged into the ground, and collaborating, getting support, stopping is not a bad thing.
Exactly. And as I say, I can't remember who said this famous quote, but not even the Lone Ranger did it alone.
That's it, exactly.
Absolutely. Selina, it's been absolutely fantastic talking with you today. Thank you so much for your time. And
thank you.
If we had more time, I would be doing bigger and better things, and hopefully those will be in future videos to come.
Excited, can't wait. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Take care.
You too. Bye.